that? I don't know if I'm broadcasting anywhere. So, yes, I am. How about that? Hey, folks. Good morning. Whoever's there. I didn't put up any announcements. I wasn't going to do a show today, but then I forgot that I didn't put up an announcement saying we weren't doing a show. So, how about that? I didn't put up any announcements. I wasn't going to do a show today, but then I forgot that I didn't put up an announcement. There's my feedback. All right. And let's see. I have no way of telling anybody that we're actually doing this right now. Well, yeah, I do. There it is. I got to edit that. Hold on. Edit post. Let's go and change the live link. Boom. There we go. All right. So we're now broadcasting. Hey, Grumpy Stack. Leaving Jellystone soon. Yo, he says. We haven't really even started this show yet this morning because I'm not really going to do a full show this morning, just an abbreviation. So hang on a second here so I can make sure my brain's not all on yet. So I think people will be coming in as soon as they realize it's 9 o'clock. I did not put out an announcement last night. I'm typing and talking at the same time. It's different when you're doing this thing. I went live instead of having a show that was pre-announced. Good morning, Beth. How you doing? Welcome to It's Sunday. It's going to be a short, abbreviated show this morning, mostly because we're in the middle of this move, and I gotta go and start hefting and toting things. So, a Grumpy Stack was the drunkest last night and the first one up. That's the way it works, isn't it? I think I was the most tired and worn out last night, but I was the first one up too. My coffee is very hot. So, as you can see, some of the books are gone behind me. Well, all the books are gone. They're already all over to the new place. So, yeah, the reminders. I didn't even put one up last night. And I got up at about, I woke up at 4 o'clock, as usual. And then I did get back to sleep, and I got up around 8 o'clock. And by the time I made my coffee and got dressed and was ready to come down and put up an announcement, it was already 3 minutes of 9 o'clock. So there you go. Hey, Matthew Sainsbury. He's sorry he accidentally hit the elephant. Well, that's all right. Hey, Jim Dawson. Good morning. This is going to be a very, for those of you filing in, a very abbreviated show. We may go 15 or 20 minutes, and that's about it. Only because we're in the thick of our relocation, and we've got the whole week left before we have to be in the new house. But we've been moving stuff because we want to clean the carpet here and clean everything up and leave this as we found it when we first moved in. And we've been doing a lot of cleaning over at the new place. Now, the new place, I showed y'all some photos of it last week, just a couple, and it's a nice place, and but it has a lot of work to do on it, and so we are renting the place, but we've already talked about the potential of it being a rental to buy, and because we could live there, we could make that work, but we're doing work that they don't want to do, even though let me put it this way: the owner of this new house we're moving into, and this could be a small topic for today, and we can talk about this kind of stuff because we all run into it. But excuse me, what? That was the cat. If you didn't hear him, he's like, "Feed me. You haven't fed me yet." And our fat cat. So this new house is a single family dwelling. It's nice. It's got all the room we need. The basement is not finished, meaning it has been used. It's semi-finished. It was once finished because there were walls. There's the impression of slats that were up or 2x4s all around the rooms. But it's bare concrete walls and bare concrete floors. And there's 3 rooms, one huge room, an enormous room that is deeper than this big studio of ours and much wider. It's about 28 by 28. And there's 2 big bedrooms down there, about 20 by 16. And so the floors were once painted, and they're all chipped up. And so I'm going to scrape it down and repaint the floors. And we're going to do something with the concrete walls. We're not going to put up, because we don't own it, we're not going to do a lot. We're just going to do what needs to be done to make it very livable and work for us. So same with the carpeting. All needs to be replaced, but she's not going to replace the carpeting. All right. Then and it stunk when we first walk in there of thick cigarette smoke and animal smell and things like that when we first looked at it. But the house was nice, had potential. And so they cleaned the carpets. I said, this carpet really needs to be replaced. But in Wisconsin, the laws are written to mostly favor the landowner, the property owner, as opposed to renters. So she didn't feel the need to have to replace it, but it needs replacing. Trust me. It's clean enough. We got the smell out. Rainey hired a duct cleaner. We had them out yesterday, and they cleaned out the ducts throughout the vents and the ducts and everything. And it was amazing the amounts of years of dust balls and fur and everything else you can think of that came out of all of those ducts. And they sent pictures over. It was pretty amazing. Well, we were there. We saw it, but they sent Rainey pictures so we can show the owner. And so it needs things done. They did put a new roof on the place last week before we started moving. So we started moving in. And my son Flynn and one of his teenage friends, they wanted to spend the night the other night, a couple of nights ago. And they went into the place, and they called us in the middle of the night. Rainey ran and got them because I didn't even wake up. But they said they were hearing footsteps coming down the hallway and banging on the walls and whistling and things like that. And Flynn's friend said he had seen a shadow figure in the hallway. And so when Rainey got there, she picked them up. They're sitting outside. They had, I walked in yesterday morning, and there were knives. They had the pulled butcher knives out of the drawers, and they were sitting on the floor in the living room. And they said, yeah, we got knives and everything. We didn't know what was going on. I said, if it's a ghost, knives ain't going to do you much good. So Rainey did a little cleansing on the house yesterday, and we'll probably do the same. And Uncle Dave and I might go over there and check out what's going on there. But all of that to say, house is nice enough. It works. And here, for those of you who did not see it, I think I still have them here. Let's see. I think they're still in my list. Add from file. No. There it is. Here it is. I'll show you. There. Whoops. I put it up, then took it down. Now there's the house. That's just the front of the house. And the yard is actually pretty nice. It needs mowing right now, but it's got a big, deep lot in the back, a fenced-in yard, and you can see barely to the left of the house. There's a big shed out back. We can put all our stuff. And it's pretty plain looking. I mean, we could do some gardening and all of that. So it's all right. And the only problem is you stand and you look out that front door right there, and you remember all the issues with the water tower, not the water itself, but um, the G5 towers, the radio frequencies coming off the water tower. Well, um, we have this right at our front door. That's the same water tower with the same G5 towers up on top of it. And that's looking out our front door into the neighborhood. And our current house where we live right now is right on the other side of that, across the railroad tracks. So we're basically in the same neighborhood as that. And so anyway, it's a nice neighborhood. It's a nice house. We had to do some cleaning, and Rainey did the lion's share of all of that. Well, no, I think she probably did all of it. The woman who owns the house. Now, here is the thing I wanted to talk about. When people who own rental property, you'd think that they would take good care of the property. Then we find this carpet hasn't been replaced for 2 users of the house, renters in the house. Also, unwilling to do any of the work that makes it a livable house. And very nice person, but just saying, no, I'm not going to spend any money on it. You can kind of take it or leave it, because that's what the market is like right now. And there are things like, okay, they charge a certain price for a house, and it's got 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and that's short by about a bedroom or 2 for us. But 3 bedrooms, we can make that work. Girls in one room, boy in the other room, and mom and dad in the third room. And it's got a nice sized living space, a living room and things like that. Big yard, gorgeous yard, new roof. And so you look at all of those and you say, that sounds pretty good, until they're not willing to do the other stuff that needs to replace the carpeting. I even asked the owner. We were in the house and we looked at it after her son and his wife, or their mechanical crew or their tech crew, they came in and cleaned it. And I said, it still smells like an old bar that had animals in it. And she looked at us kind of like, well, are you going to take it then? Not, I can fix that. I said, this carpet, I think, really needs to be replaced. And she had said, well, I'm not going to replace the carpet. And then I asked her, when she came to meet us to actually sign the lease, I said, I said, it still smells in here. And I said, I looked at her and I said, would you live here? Would you move your family into this house the way it is right now? And she said, well, no. And I said, well, that ought to be what governs the way you take care of the property that you're renting out to other people. And in the idyllic world, I guess. So this is what is something that bothers me. If I have a rental property and I'm going to rent it to somebody, I'm going to make damn sure it's clean. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't stink. And if it stinks, I'm going to get to the bottom of the problem. Well, Rainey got to the bottom of the problem. And after those ducts were all blown out yesterday, after the cleanings, and she went and Rainey washed all the walls. She wiped everything down, washed it all down. And it smells pristine in there now. And she did a fantastic job. And of course, blowing out the vents was one of the keys to eliminating that smell. And there were literally, I would have to say, you could have filled several garbage bags full of the old lint and stinky, smelly lint and dust and hair and things like that were clogging all the vents in that house. And then, of course, they had a little the guy who was cleaning. They were local people. He's the football coach at the school, and he and his wife run this little business. And he said, well, we also put a little like a lemon scent in the final wipe through that we do down the vents. He says that's going to help a little bit too. And so the house doesn't smell like lemons, but it smells phenomenal now. It's not so bad. And so Rainey and I are going to take on certain things at that house, but only enough to make it livable. And I mean, it was livable before, but what standard of living are you talking about? Do you want to live in something that stinks and something that's dirty? Or do you want to live in something that, and this is where I will say, it's not that the person who owns it, and I don't want to talk mean about her, mean, quote unquote, because she's a very nice person. But this person also owns a 1,000-acre horse ranch and has over 100 horses, and they've been there for years, and they're very well established. She's in her early 70s, I think. And meaning all that simply means, put it in the vernacular, they've got money, they're okay, and they've got rental properties. And I don't know how many, but this house, it wasn't listed through the regular means, by the way. We found it on Craigslist as opposed to any of the other places where you find house listings. And I would say, if you've got the money to own several rental properties, and you are somebody who has done well enough in life, and I'm sure they have worked very hard to get where they're at, that you have something like a 1,000-acre horse ranch that you're maintaining, that you would be the kind of person that has the money to replace a carpet in a house. I would say replacing that carpet would probably cost us around $500, depending on the carpet you get. If you're renting it out, you don't have to get the top-notch carpet, of course, but you could get the cheaper carpet and padding, and you put in something. So my big question is, hey, Ian and Julia, I don't know if you pronounce it Ian or Ian and Julie from England. Julie was part of our, just segueing right out into this for a second. Julie was part of our Exodus reality adventure to Egypt back in 2014. It doesn't seem that long ago, but man, that's 8 years ago already. So I don't know which one of you it is, or it's both of you. If it's Julie, was just looking at pictures, showing people pictures a couple of weeks ago of that parts of that trip. So it's nice to see you. Glad you're here. It's an abbreviated Sunday morning for all of those of you who are here. Not going very long today because we've got to jump right back into moving. Oh, both of you. Hey, both of you. I've never met Ian, but I know Julie. And I think I posted some films I took where we were going down by Temple of Isis, that little cruise down the Nile where it was very, very narrow and going by residential areas and so on. And I'm up on top of the ferry boat, and I'm filming, and Julie's up there. So you were in that. You may have seen that a few years ago when I put that up. So nice to have you here, by the way. Sorry you're getting here on a day when it's not a normal show. And by the way, Sunday morning, for everybody coming in, Sunday morning is a very informal version of what we do Monday through Friday, every night, Monday through Friday. And so it's informal. The family's usually here. And as you can see, we're in the middle of a move. So all my bookshelves are empty back there. All the bookshelves over there that you can't see, all the bookshelves over there. We had about 40 boxes of books that, thank God, my 13-year-old son and his 13-year-old friend, they're friends of our family. He was over. He spent the night because he wants to help again today. So he's up there with Flynn. Those guys were lifesavers as far as moving things. Look at my eyes. That's how tired I am after yesterday, man. Yeah, we just, those guys were running up and down the stairs because we moved all the books into the downstairs there where the offices are going to be. And getting back on that house, it's one of the things I'm going to be doing to the house is painting all the floors. We're going to put a nice, like I'm thinking like a nice reddish color. Like if you look at, something like this darker red down in here where you see the shadowing and so on. Not a bright fire engine red, but a darker red and with a high gloss on it, and put that all down in all the rooms down there. There's going to be one of those will be a bedroom, and that'll be Rainey's in my master bedroom, and we'll just we'll use throw rugs down on the floor and paint the floors up. I think that'll be fine for now, until we get to such a day that we would want to put our own. I wouldn't want carpeting in there, wood floors maybe. So so there you go. And Rainey is on the ball, Teresa. She really is. And so we're doing things, and I'd say over the next two days we'll probably have everything out and over there, and then we'll be cleaning this house and setting up home there by next weekend. So barn red, that might be a good way to describe it, Susie Q. That deep barn red. I of course picture in my mind maybe putting some of the flecks in it that you can get that's mixed into the paint. So you put it down, and there's a little black flecks in it, and I had thought of in the main room, the big 28 by 28 room. I thought it would be a lot of fun. All I'm going to do is leave it concrete right now. It's not blocks, it's concrete, poured concrete. And I had thought of painting the walls in a much lighter color. And of course, there's no ceilings, so it's all the rafters. I could go through, and I had thought of, now imagine this in your head, that reddish floor, taking and spraying all the rafters with paint. I was thinking black, just a flat black that absorbs it. Now, I saw a designer many years ago now, and was talking about painting the ceilings, even in your living rooms and things like that, a darker shade of what you've got on the walls. So like he did a wall, and it was very light, kind of a taupe color. And and then now this is what I did. I did taupe on the wall, light taupe. And then on the ceiling, I did a much darker version of that. I mean, and it was like chocolatey taupe. Think of that, not reddish brown, kind of that grayish brown. And I put that up. And as this designer said, he said, "You're going to start putting," and this is him, I'm doing an imitation of him. You might even know who he is if I do it well enough. He said, "You're going to start putting up your dark color, and you're going to go, oh my God, that is not what I want. That's too dark." He says, "But don't panic. Keep doing it. It will be fabulous." And so I went ahead and I kept doing it. And we painted the whole ceiling. And what the dark color actually does, it has the effect of raising your ceiling up away from you. And so it sounds different. It sounds odd, but you paint your ceilings darker colors, and it's going to elevate your ceiling. And it actually elevated and broadened the room. So I was thinking in the downstairs, I'd rather not drop a ceiling. I don't like dropped ceilings, and I don't like that kind of look to it. If it got to it, I'd sheetrock the ceiling, something like that. But you do the spray up there, and it'd be like, think of a theater with a black ceiling. It would have that kind of look and feel. And then I do the walls. So I got red, I got black, and I do the walls in probably a really light, creamy taupe color down there. And one of the ideas I had was to take wooden beams, and I've done this before. Uncle Dave and I did this in an old house of Rainey's and mine, our first house, way back in 2006. And we put up beams, stained them dark, almost black, put beams up every 4 feet all the way around the room. And then we theatrically painted the wall to look like it's old plaster with cracks in it and dings and things like that, theatrically. And we made it look like an old 15th century, 16th century English pub. So it was pretty cool. So Rainey is up, so I'm probably going to wind this up pretty quick.
I've been up since 7 o'clock. I've just been fucking around
doing stuff. I've been up since 4, and then I went back to bed and I got up at 8. So, not that I'm competing with you on that. You should come and say hello to everybody since it's Sunday with Scotty and Rainey. She's going to come and say hi in a minute. She wants to look good. I think she looks absolutely amazing already. So, but so we might get a Rainey showing on the Scotty and Rainey Sunday show. How about that? If I didn't do it fucking piss ass early in the morning, she'd come on. Yeah, that 9 o'clock, that's let's push it more for noon. Well, I don't want to do it in the middle of the day. So
if I wanted to go to church, I'd wake up early on Sundays.
Yeah. There she is.
Going to church. I don't want to go. Hi.
Yeah.
So I like to sleep in.
What are you doing here? I didn't invite you over.
Too bad.
So anyway, so we're going to be going pretty soon here over to finish hauling some things over as much as we can get out today.
Right.
And everything in this office just about, or furniture upstairs and the rest of the bedroom. Don't put your armpit in my face.
Tell them smell it.
I'll smell it. I'll bite it. I'll tickle it. I'll put a finger in it. All right, there. Child down. So anyway, there you go. So Rainey has done a lot of stuff over there. And of course, you know what happens when you're moving and everybody's tired and everybody's feeling overworked? We bicker a lot. There's a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering. And it's not about anything that means anything. It's just, there you go.
Yeah, you guys have no idea how many times I've been told to shut up. Shut your mouth.
I'm like,
talking.
Will you just? Okay, here's my reaction. It's gotten to the point where I go, will you just stop talking?
But that comes from a man who continually talks all the time. So I'm forced to listen to whatever he has to say. But I can't talk. It's pretty awesome.
Well, what kinds of things do I tell you? What do I go on talking about that that my reaction to your reaction that would be just stop talking?
I don't know. Don't really care.
No.
Just try not to talk.
See, Rainey has here. Let's not mess with stuff, please. You're not here to mess with things. There, see, look what you've already done. All right. I can't see anything now. There you go. Don't touch. Precocious child. So, yeah, I know. I can read. I can see that. Thank you very much. Stop putting your hands in or I'll send you away.
I'm done wasting time.
There you go. Mom's wasting time now because of that. So, Mom's gone. So, only I get to talk about and represent how words and bickering and arguing goes. And it's really hard to discipline your child when you're on air. So, anyway, it more looks like it's things where Rainey's got a certain way she wants things done. And, if I happen to get an independent idea of that, I'm wrong. So, that's what usually starts our bickering. It's like, hey, I'm going to, instead of carrying these 40 boxes of books down the stairs, only a handful of them really heavy. I pack them so they're manageable. And I said, I'm going to leave them in the garage until we get that basement floor ready. And Rainey's like, well, we don't know when we're going to do that. I'm going to do that as soon as I can. And, I told you I wanted them down in the other room and you can just, I'm like, oh boy. And it just goes on and on and on. And it's, and when you're in those situations, when you're tired and you don't really care what anybody else has to say,
when you're
you have to,
and your brain's not functioning and you know that this entire basement is not going to fit in our garage. It's already halfway full.
Yeah,
it has to go downstairs.
It does. And so, and I'm with Rainey on that. And so what happens when guys argue with their wives? And we know we're right, damn it. We're guys. We know we're right. But what do? We end up doing what they want us to do anyway, even though we told them to shut up and stop telling me what to do. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man who can make up my own mind, make up decisions, but we still do what they tell us to do. So we know where our bread is buttered.
If you didn't do what I wanted you to do, our garage would be so freaking cram-packed full of shit. I would just throw it all away, books and all.
Yeah. So, but see, and that's what it is she thinks she's the boss of
I am
me.
the boss. Because
You're not the boss of me.
Because if you wouldn't have listened to what I have said, you would have had the whole entire garage so cram-packed full of stuff we wouldn't be able to use it.
I don't think it was that bad. That's a little
all of this going into
hyperbole.
our garage. All of this going into our garage though is gonna pack it full. We're not gonna be able to put it in the garage.
Oh yeah.
This isn't gonna fit.
Well,
it's not gonna fit in the garage.
I mean, we got to do it piece by piece. So what'll happen is the room that'll be the office will have to get done first, and then the bedroom, and then or whichever. Because even though we sleep in the bedroom, we spend more working time during the day in the office. So
you can either sleep with the kid or sleep on the couch until we get the office and then the bedroom done.
there you go. Grown men know it's a total loss to swim upstream, says Teresa D'Antone. Agreed. I'm a grown man. I know it's a total loss, but it's like, the last great act of defiance. Yeah, I'm swimming upstream. I'm swimming against the stream, against what you want, because I've got my own ideas.
It's not even against what I want. What I find really humorous is in the morning when he was there, we had discussed how everything was going to go in this one room downstairs because we can't fill the garage. And then you come home, you load everything, and then you're like, I'm just putting it all in the garage. And then you got mad at me because I changed it when we just discussed
here now this is
just basement.
This is just for the fun and enjoyment of talking about this. But when it comes to male and female English, what does a woman usually say to men? We already discussed this.
We did.
And it's like, well, we didn't decide anything.
Yeah, we decided.
And even yesterday, I wasn't throwing a wrench in anybody's gears. I was just asking. I said, what if I just put this stuff? Mostly because I didn't feel like
you pull. You have a lot of weight and it pulls. You're always pulling on my lower back. Okay. I know you want to touch.
Shove it in the.
You can touch my leg right there because then you can't.
Your leg right there?
That's my vagina. Please don't touch it.
So, wow, that's my vagina. Please don't touch it. Totally different topic, but like 17 years ago, here's my vagina. Please touch it. Please live there. Now, 17 years later, that's my vagina. Don't touch it.
17 years later, 3 kids and 1 adult man baby. I'm really fucking tired.
Who's the man baby?
Adult man baby. That's
so. Having said all that, Susie Q's with Rainey. Well, that's because you're a chick, Susie Q.
Susie Q.
So, yeah, but guys, we go like
guys.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we all know guys.
I was just like, hey, pardon me, madam, you seem to have a bird on your head.
My birdie.
Oh, he's pooping.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh, your hair looked so nice before that.
Stop. He's gonna poop on me.
So my question yesterday was, can you not yell and scream when you're standing right here like you normally do 23 hours of every day? Shh, stop. Quiet. So
there she goes. I hope the door.
All I did was ask yesterday. I suggested. I didn't even ask. I suggested. It was more like, well, I don't want to have to do the move. I don't want to move these things down the stairs tonight. And this was it was already dark outside, almost dark outside when we were carrying these books down. And I'm like, you know what? How close did that bird get to my head? I just felt the breeze. You think that's the best way to catch him?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so there you go. We got a bird loose in the house. So,
don't step on my.
So that was my whole thing, and it turns into, you're challenging my authority. I'm like, I'm not challenging your authority.
Well, when we got 2 boys helping move, get
Yeah.
the shit downstairs, not put
Get
it
it
in the garage,
downstairs. And
when
so
we're
that's what
really
we did.
tired
Hey,
tomorrow,
Chase.
we gotta do it.
Good to see you, Chase Corrington. And so, well, anyway, all of that to say, the fun and frivolity is only going to last a few more days, and then it goes back to normal. So
There is no normal.
there is no normal. There is only that almost sounded like a line from the Matrix. So, oh, that yellow light, that's what that is. It's not as yellow. It's just yellow because of the kind of bulb it is, but now it's up there and it got hooked on my computer screen. There we go. It's just a halogen light desk lamp. Got turned when I turned the screen. So anyway, hey, Steph Cuervo Queen and Elderberry, good to see you. And I don't know what are you wowing to, Elderberry? It's something I've said or our brilliant presence this morning. Oh, she always champions women. It's Susie Q. Yeah, Susie Q. Women are just
What was that?
other forms of humans too. They're not the boss of me. My wife's not the boss of me. Are you? Are you, honey?
Right. I'm not the boss of you, Scotty.
There. Thank you for confirming that. So, you aren't the boss of me. So, no, there is a point where, as a 61-year-old man, I say, when did I surrender my autonomy? Well, when we became a family. Obviously. Well, when did my wife surrender her autonomy? She's still the boss. So
I'm not the boss. If I was the boss,
you are the boss. See,
I'm
that's
not the
just your
boss.
personality type, though. Sometimes it's cool. It's really cool and it's really amazing because I go, yeah, my wife said that.
if
Bonehead.
I was the boss, this show would not be until like 10:30, not 9
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah.
Obviously, I am not his boss.
People have things to do on Sunday.
So do I. Sleep in.
Yeah, that's why you're never
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And but I get to spank her butt. So but yeah, the Rainy's the boss. I know her mom told me, you know what we nicknamed her when she was little or when she was younger. I said, no, what? She said, the little general. And so was that your mom or your grandma who told me that?
That's my mom.
Your mom. So Rainy's always been kind of, you could say it in the nice way and say she's very authoritative, very authoritarian, and she's very good at giving out orders and organizing. And the other way could be she's bossy. Or as I said to somebody the other day, I said, don't get fooled. My wife is, yes, she's lovely, but she's also a bitch on wheels. So
You're a bitch on wheels because you're stubborn and don't listen to reason.
I'm only a bitch on wheels because you don't do what I say, is what I just heard.
What?
Oh,
What was that?
Don't pinch my nipples. Don't pinch my nipples. Fair trade on that. So anyway, there you have it. Male versus female. She gets shit done, says Andrea. Oh, Andrea said stuff. I said shit. Sorry. Yes, Rainey does. Andrea, and she used to own the ranch that Rainey and I we were on a contract for deed buying that, and we never consummated that. And Andrea was owner of that ranch. And in quick, there's lots of details there, but so we know Andrea from a long time ago when we had the ranch that we lived on. So there's a whole story there too, and but so no, not a bad one. There's just a whole story getting all the details in. I didn't mean that in a negative way. The whole story meaning there's just so many details and try to describe what we had going on there. But
There was a dead Native American in the basement.
yeah, there was a dead Native American in the basement. No, that's where we got we had done a little paranormal researching into the house before we moved in. And I had lived there before with my ex-wife. We had this is the old cowboy I told you about that owned this, and he was married to Andrea. And I remember I moved out there in 97 with Abby, Bryn, Sam, and well, Sam wasn't born yet, but Abby and Bryn and their mom. and 40-acre horse ranch, a beautiful place. I loved it. And then, of course, Annette and I got divorced. Let's see, 97. We were divorced in by 2000. We were separated, and we already had the 2 kids and a third coming. And so we were separated. We moved off the place, and it was back in maybe 2008, Andrea, I think it was, where I was out in Ellsworth, where the ranch was, and I was driving around, and the old cowboy, her former husband who passed away, he was out driving a team down the country road and breaking in some horses. 2008, and I saw him, and I stopped, and we talked for a while, and I said, "Man, I'd love to buy that ranch." And I said, "Is it still up for sale?" And he says, "Mr. Roberts," he says, "weren't but 2 people ever done love this place, you and me." He said, "So," he says, "if you want it, it's yours." So we worked out a little loosey-goosey arrangement, and we moved out there in 2008, end of the year. And I remember it was cold, and we had a big bonfire going too, burning old stuff and things out there, and it was like 80 degrees at the bonfire, and it was like 20 degrees outside the ring of the bonfire. So, but yeah, that was the place, and that's who Andrea is. So when she makes comments about knowing Rainey and me, she knows us. And Rainey always was a hard worker, so always got stuff done. So there you go. So that's what I say. I was going to make this a very short, sweet, quick show. Now Rainey's up, and so we got to get rolling here pretty quick. We've been going 45 minutes, and we just popped in and went live. I didn't make an announcement because I wasn't sure I was even going to do a show this morning, and so there was no announcement. Those of you who have made it here, good to see you. Those of you who are over on the Facebook channel, the 2 of them over there, welcome. And
that are local and want our address to watch us fight and bicker in real life, let me know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to watch us fight and bicker, Rainey says, "Nah, that's so negative."
That was just a way to get people to sneakily come over so we can make them move.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, come and watch us bicker so you can come over and, oh, hey, you want to handle this box? And Rainey and I will argue over it. Just carry it and put it in that room. So you know what we're doing? We didn't want to. John and Brianna helped us move last year into this place. And I will not abuse my friends like that again. If any friends want to come over and help, they're welcome to. But they were right next door, and so they were always there, and they were helping us with every little step of the way. And we said, I'm not doing that to anybody. So we're doing it all ourselves, slow but sure. Jamie came and helped yesterday. Her son is upstairs. He's Flynn's friend from school and Scouts. And so, hey, Leslie, how you doing? Good to see you, Leslie Holker. She says, good luck getting everything unpacked and in place. Thank you. Well, we're still moving it over, and there's still not even packed yet. Well, Rainey says we're not packed, but we are. There's stuff that's not packed still, but we're just like, I'm going to go pull the big trailer right down here into the backyard this morning, and it's John and Bree's trailer. John's letting me use it. We've been using that for a week already, hauling little bits and pieces over and putting it in the garage, and now we're starting to load the house up, and we'll just pull it down here into the lower yard and exit all the furniture from the lower side of the house out there. And then everything else goes out, of course, the upstairs. And so wish us good luck today. If you want to come and you've been here pretty much since the beginning of the show. That's good to hear, Leslie. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And thank you for everything you do for us. I appreciate it. Leslie is one of the biggest supporters of what we do here, and I think maybe of us personally. And we sure appreciate what you've done for us. And everybody else, if you want to show up, you can. Just show up just to talk if you want. Have a smoke or a beer or something with us. You don't have to help, But if you come over and you want to lift a box or two, you can do that. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
Or just come and yell at kids.
Or come and yell at kids. Keep the kids occupied. Yeah. Uncle Dave was going to come yesterday. He couldn't make it. I wanted to assure him. Oh, and then he said, I'm sorry I couldn't make it today. We're talking. He says, no, you're all moved, right? Like, I can come over, but what day are you done moving? I'm not.
Come over. You
You don't have to lift a single thing.
If you want to boss kids around.
You can boss kids. You can cook. You can just stand and talk to us while we're hefting things. That's it, Teresa. Exactly. Saving the swords. Yeah, I haven't taken that stuff down yet because there's no place to put it up yet. I still have to paint the walls and the floor and stuff before I can get my office set up. We'll be broadcasting from over there, but if we have any hiccups in the broadcasting schedule, I'll let you know. But we'll be broadcasting whether or not we have the offices set up yet or not. We've just got to get some paint and do the paint thing to get that set up. So there you go. And what was I saying one more time? Oh, yeah. Just come over and visit if you want. Call me up or text me. I'll send you my address if you're local. You can come on over. Just hang out with us. So, yeah, like my office is not packed. Yeah. Well, all the books are gone. All the books got out of here. That's the biggest part of my office is the books. Other than that, it's just hefting bookshelves out and the desk and stuff like that. And that could all go over today. But I'm keeping the desk here till almost the last minute because of our internet's going to change over during the week at some point, and I want it to be as seamless as possible. So thank you, Matthew Sainsbury. That's not an Old West map. That is a map of Middle Earth. So up there behind the swords. So it's an old poster I got, and it got a little beat up along the way. I let Sam use it in his room. I could probably replace it one of these days, but at the time, it was the only one I could find. We got a little chipped up and beat up. You can see one of the corners right there is a little, there it is, right there at the end of my finger. That got a little ripped out and stuff like that. So it's just up there, and I've got holders for the swords right through the poster into the wall. So anyway, there you go. I could paint a map of Middle Earth on the office wall, but that's too much work right now. So there it is. So we're going to go take care of our business today and leave you to yours. You guys have a wonderful Sunday. And remember, all this week, we're on from 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday with the Intrepid Radio program. Come on over and join us. And Leslie says you need to get some Mulane tea to keep those lungs clean. I can tell you still have congestion. Yeah, it still does. I open my mouth in the morning and I start talking every time, even during the day. I always have to clear my throat when I start talking.
Well, we slept with the windows open last night.
Yeah, we did have the windows open last night, so it's nice.
That changes the in your lungs.
I've had it for a couple of days, that just hangover congestion from COVID. So that's, I had COVID, a month ago when Rainey left for Alaska and was down for 3-4 days and then 3 weeks, slowly getting back up to normal and still not fully normal yet, but it was fine. And boy, that's all I got today, guys. If I missed anybody's comments, it's not because I deliberately missed it. It's because I wasn't looking, paying attention. If you want to stop by and you're local and just say hi and see the new place, we'll show you around. And I think I did mention the backyard of this place is nice. It's got a fenced-in portion of the backyard. It's just chain link fence, and which will be nice for Lucy. We can let Lucy out the sliding door off the dining room, and off she goes into the backyard without being on a cable. And then beyond that is a deeper backyard, almost just as deep, and with the old shed on it, and where we're putting all the stuff. Oh, I just got a picture from Ian and Julie over in England. We're on the big screen over there. Here, let me show you this, guys, just because it's fun to show you. I'm going to share my screen for a second. Share screen. Boom. Share. Now you're going to see kind of that effect. But if I go over here, there it is. So that's Ian and Julie. That's their TV set over in England, where it is now, what, about 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon? No, it's not that late. Probably 2 in the afternoon-ish. But they've got me on the big screen TV over there. That's kind of fun. Thanks for sending that, Julie. Or Ian, whoever sent that. So let me stop sharing my screen. So that's cool. Well, I appreciate you all being here. We usually go 2 hours on Sunday morning. This morning we're not. Nice flat screen TV, says Matthew Sainsbury. They're all flat screens over here now, Matthew. I don't think there's any tube TVs left. I used to have some really nice old ones that were like 80 years old, 75 years old, something like that. You know, the big box of the wood and the polished wood and all that, and the wood grain. It had this little tiny black and white screen in it. So back from the 40s and probably the 40s. And anyway, off topic. Gonna get out of here. Come on over if you want. Message me if you want. And that's it. Thank you for being here. Love you all. I appreciate you being here. And because we didn't do an opener, I'm going to do a closer today. And we'll get out of here. So as usual, all of you, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow night and every night this week. Live long and prosper.